Hello, and thank you for joining us at the One Test Prep for this special video breakdown of this very hotly contested exam item. And this time I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm actually going to go ahead and show you the rationale, the key right now. But then if you'd like to continue and watch the breakdown of how we reach that information, you can continue to watch this video. I really hope that you do. I hope that you also take the time to like and subscribe to our channel. And thanks again for choosing and trusting the One Test Prep to help you become a better social worker. So as you can see here, the ABCD choices, and they're in a different sequence than they were on the item that was posted online. But the key is explained here, the rationale. The social worker must first gather more information about the details of the punishment, key C. Alternative modes of discipline might be appropriate after the social worker has a better understanding of the situation. Informing the parents that a report must be made is premature at this time. And option D ignores the possibility that that the behavior could be abusive. And just to check, this is the subject or the topic from the exam that this exam item addresses. So I want to give you a quick, for those who just came here just to get the answer, there's your answer. But if you'd like to see the breakdown, stick around and enjoy. All right, so we have this exam item up on the screen. Let's get busy. Um, Rachel, can you please read the STEM for us?
Yes, a 14-year-old Asian American student is referred to a family agency because of the student's recent poor academic performance and behavioral changes, including lack of paying attention and social withdrawal. During the second family therapy session, the student angrily says that she is tired of the painful physical punishment from her father for trying to fit in with her friends at school. The father notes that the punishment is necessary to prevent his daughter from imitating the behaviors of her American friends and thus bringing shame to the family. What should the social worker do first?
Trina Chesney. Trina, can you please read the ABCD choices for us out loud?
Um, assist the parents in exploring alternative modes of discipline. B, inform the parents that their behavior requires a report of suspected abuse. C, attempt to determine the severity of physical punishment. D, help the daughter understand her parents' behavior as culturally appropriate.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you both. All right. So let's get into this one. For this one, we want to really I want to make something clear to people who are not familiar with this. Amy, can you help everybody out in answering this question really quickly? Where's the key always hidden, Amy?
In the STEM.
Exactly. Can I get everybody really quickly to unmute? Everybody unmute all together. And I want everybody to repeat after me. The key is hidden in the STEM.
The key is hidden in the STEM.
One more time. The key is hidden in the STEM.
The key is hidden in the STEM.
All right, thank you. I know that's very second grade what I just did there. But you gotta believe me when I have you say it. When you say it, you hear it. When you hear it, you think it. When you think it, you're immersing that into your own psyche. And I assure you, the people who have used our program for some time, you guys have heard me say that a million times. And the people who pass their exam, that's one of the first things they say to me is, Jason, all I could hear in my head during the test was the key is hidden in the STEM. And just so you know, for anybody who's unsure, ASWB calls this part of the exam question the STEM. They call this the STEM. They call these three things down here the three distractors and the key. So I'm just using their language. Clearly, it's the key, it's the question, right? It's the question of the vignette. but they call it the STEM, so we're going to call it the STEM. So the key is hidden in the STEM. So this is where our focus will be. And I know that the answer, right, the key is literally one of these 3 distractors in the key down here. But how to find that key is going to happen up here in the STEM. So this is where we will fixate our energy right now into focusing on unpacking everything within the STEM and figuring out how how we're going to respond first, right? So let's start with the simplest part. Let's do some highlighting. I love to highlight. That's an easy one to do. And during the ASWB exam, if anybody here has ever taken it before, they actually do have a feature on the screen where you can highlight. So you can actually do that during the real exam. You can highlight on the screen. All right. So let me get Garrett in this first sentence, right? The first sentence in the STEM. Can you tell me any information that is critical and important that we want to focus on in the first sentence of the STEM? Give me specific words here that I need to highlight.
I would say age, race,
No,
and
give me the words. Give me the words. Give me the words.
14-year-old Asian American.
Okay. All right.
Behavioral changes, including lack of paying attention, social withdrawal.
Okay. So lack of paying attention and social withdrawal. Okay. Anything else in the STEM is going to be important to us to help us kind of figure this one out?
The only other thing is that I guess it's part of the same thing, but just a poor academic performance.
Poor academic performance. Okay. All right. Anything else from that sentence? Is that all that we need to highlight?
I suppose like maybe referred to family agency. I guess that'll probably be fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. Wanda, can you look at the second sentence, right? The second sentence and tell me, what do we need to highlight? What do we need to focus on, Wanda?
I think the fact that it's the second family therapy session, it's important to know. And the student angrily reports that she's being painfully punished. But the word is student angrily says she's tired of physical punishment from her father.
That's a tough one. It gives me chills, and I just reading it. Like that's a hard one, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else from that sentence that's going to be important?
I mean, you're trying to fit in with your friends at school is important, but yeah, I'm not sure it needs to be highlighted.
Well, it's up to you. You're in charge. Whatever you say is what I'm doing here.
To severity. Okay, now, well, yeah, go ahead and highlight it. It's good information.
Okay. All right. So she wants to fit in with her friends, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll try to minimize so we're not highlighting every single word, but still capturing the point. She wants to fit in with her friends. Okay. All right. Katrina Chesney, third sentence. Give me something that's super important that we gotta make sure we capture.
Punishment is necessary. And behavior of her American friends and bringing shame.
Okay. All right. All right. And Amy, I want you to look at the whole STEM and tell me, was there anything that you felt like that isn't highlighted that you felt like should be, or do you feel like everybody's kind of nailed it? Like, what are you seeing, Amy? Amy?
Yes, I was thinking, if anything, it's more so just like additional information. So like within the first sentence, um, how not only the student has poor academic performance, but it's also showing behavioral changes. Also, how not only would it bring shame, but it brings shame to the family, given that we're dealing with an Asian American student and or family.
Mhm. All right. So what I'll say is this, we already highlighted up here that it is a family session. And so, and we're talking about the father and the daughter, and they're both clearly in the room. So I think it's kind of implied that the shame is to the family. She's not bringing shame to the school mascot. You know what I mean? Like I think it's inherent that it's already there. But it's up to you. If you want me to highlight to the family, I will.
No, that makes sense. So we could leave it like that.
Okay. All right. So we got some highlights going. We got some things that are, making sure they're jumping off the page. And obviously, already in all caps is the word first, because that's, what we want to focus on. And keep in mind, whenever we see the word first in a first or next or most, right? First, next, or most at the end of an exam vignette, you always want to look at the four choices as probably all four of them could be done, but the idea is to put it in sequence. What's going to be the primary step, the very first step. So that's what we have to focus on. All right. So we did some highlighting here. For this one, I also want I want to add another, kind of combine another one of our tactics and strategies here that we use with the one test prep. Let's go ahead and put the context and the content for this one, because I feel like this one is, again, and I actually might even put this one in this week's practice question in the Facebook group, and across all of our social medias, because we posted in Twitter and LinkedIn and all over, and Instagram. But yes, so context and content, because this one is, again, let's see how you guys do on it. But to me, this is one that has a lot of layers to it. It's not as easy as it looks. So context and content. So Garrett, when we look at the context and content, this is a tool that the one test rep uses explicitly, and it helps us it helps put yourself in the room, right? When it says, the social worker, you need to be reading that and seeing Garrett. Right? Garrett is the social worker in the room, in the scenario. So in order to put ourselves in the room, we need to know where this conversation is happening. We need to know when this conversation is happening. We need to know who is involved with this conversation. And then down here, the content, we need to know what is the scenario asking for. So Garrett, I'm going to ask you to get us started. Physically, where is this conversation in this vignette taking place, Garrett?
And whatever office or room is provided by the family agency, it seems like.
Clearly, it says in the very first sentence that they're at the family agency, right? And they're probably not having this session in the lobby, right? So it's realistic to say family agency, and we'll put office since you added that, right? So now we're putting ourselves in the room, right? When in the social work process, Wanda, social work happens in 3 stages, right? There's the intake assessment stage, there's the intervention stage, and then there's termination or closure, right? Stage. What stage in the process is this family in?
Well, coming from my social work, the what background, we do the assessment, which is the very first thing, and gather all the information we need. And that's typically done in the first session. But they're learning new stuff that's going on with the family right now. And I don't think they're necessarily in the intervention stage because they're still gathering information. So I would say assessment.
You would say assessment?
Yeah.
Okay. And where's the evidence to support that in the STEM? Is there something in the STEM that flat out pretty much says it and it's already highlighted?
Friends, punishment is necessary, fitting behaviors. For me, it's just giving a ton of information. But maybe they already have this top part for academic performance, lack of paying attention, all that probably was already in the assessment, the initial assessment. But this is the second one. This is new information with a student saying that she's tired of the painful punishment from her father.
Yeah.
So
So right here where it says second family therapy session, that's also, so you're spot on, Wanda. You're absolutely right. The fact that the social worker is gathering new information and still kind of, learning about the scenario, but it also says explicitly that it is the second family therapy session. So you're still definitely in the intake/assessment stage. Right?
Okay,
That's the win. And it explicitly says it right there. All right. So now we know where it's happening. We know when it's happening. Rachel, who are the key players? Who are the people involved in the STEM? Name every role of a person involved in the STEM.
Yeah, so I would say, of course, the 14-year-old Asian American, her father, and then the social worker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Can you see how though, Rachel, like by doing this kind of breakdown, what you're doing is you're putting yourself in the room. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're transporting yourself from the test center into that actual space. You're at the family agency, you're in the office, you're in the intake assessment stage. So you're just getting to know these people, and it's just the three of you in the room. Or, I mean, well, at least the three of you that I mentioned in the STEM, right? Because if we look at the ABCD choices, I think it talks about both parents at one point. Let me see. Inform
Inform the parents, but it's
So it
just the
could be that
dad.
mom's there, but as far as we know in the STEM, and the key is always hidden in the STEM, that's what we have, is that we know at least for sure dad is there. Okay. So now we're into it, right? So we know the where, we know when, and we know who. Amy, can you give us a breakdown? Give me in your own words, right? Not just rereading exactly what the vignette says, but give me a rewording or a rephrase. What is happening in this step? Break it down for me. Give me the what.
So, a 14-year-old Asian American student is trying to fit in to their new environment, or being a student, I guess, in America or in the United States. The father specifically still wants to adhere and continue to make sure that the 14-year-old adheres to the Asian traditions or behaviors or type of performances that is expected of the child. But
Hang on. I'm trying to write.
I'm sorry.
I'm too
My bad,
slow.
my bad.
I'm trying to
Well,
get it. Father wants to ensure the 14-year-old adheres to the cultural what?
expectations, I guess, from the Asian
Okay.
community.
Okay. What else?
But in doing so, the father's cultural or custom expectations are clashing with the 14-year-old trying to fit in with her friends at school.
All right. Anything else happening there, Amy?
The father is imposing onto the child painful physical punishment, and the student is angry because she's tired of him.
Anything else? Is that everything?
I think so.
Garrett, hop in and see if I want you to read what I wrote that Amy said and tell me if there's anything that you feel if you would edit or add or take away to Amy's expression of the what.
Yeah, no, I can't find anything that I would add to it.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have anything else to add to it? Katrina, Rachel, Wanda? Did you feel
Nope.
like she
I think
nailed it?
everything is good.
No.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So this is the fun part, and I want everybody to listen to me, especially the people who it's your first time here. Pay close attention in the chat, right? In the chat. Send a direct message to me, direct message to Jason. You know what? Actually, hold on. Before you do that, let's actually go ahead and let's bring together, since this one is kind of a tough one. And I want to make sure we really, really break it down. We did highlighting, we did context and content. Let's do elimination as well. Let's choose two of these items that we're going to say, you know what? These are not going to be the first thing the social worker does. And so, Rachel, I'm going to ask you to get us started. Can you look at the ABCD choices and tell me which of these for you, Rachel, you would not do it first?
Yes, so I would go ahead and eliminate A.
So assist the parents in exploring alternative modes of discipline. So my question for you, Rachel, why do you hate helping parents?
You said, why do I hate helping parents? It's
Yeah,
not that.
you just said you're not gonna do it. You don't even like
I
that.
said I wouldn't do it first. I
Oh,
would do
okay.
it, but I don't think it would be the first thing I would do.
Okay,
Of
so you
course.
don't hate helping parents.
No, of course.
I'm just messing with you. Okay. So you wouldn't do that first. Okay, all right. Garrett, give me something that you would eliminate.
D.
Help the daughter understand the parent's behavior as culturally appropriate. Give me take me into that. Tell me why you would not do that first.
You just don't really have enough information, I think, at the start to sort of assume that everything is sort of along the lines of being culturally appropriate.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for your insight on that. Now, I want to remind everybody. So we've eliminated two options. That's the most that we do in this group. Is just eliminate two. But keep in mind, if one of your peers, just because Rachel or Garrett eliminated A and B, it doesn't mean that it's off the table. If you are convinced that A or D is your answer, please, in the chat right now, send me a direct message
And again, it has to be a direct message, a private message to me, so that everyone else in the chat doesn't see your answer. But all I need is a letter, A, B, C, or D, E, F, G, whatever letter you want to send. But pick the letter that corresponds with your answer, send it to me in the chat, and again, privately, so that everyone else doesn't see it. And then they're like, everybody else is like, oh, everybody chose E, so it must be E. I don't want you to be influenced by everybody else. I want you to have your own answer. So let me see. Okay, Wanda's already jumped on and sent her answer in. Thank you, Katrina. Amy's on it. Garrett, thank you for your answer. All right, and I feel like there's one more. Are we looking for Rachel? Is that who's left?
Yes, I'm just really torn on this.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. Everybody else has already answered. So
I'm just
and look, I'm not pressuring you. I'm just saying that you don't have to. You if you want to talk through your answer, you can. But because everybody else has already sent in their answer. But just want to know where you land. By the way,
I'm just huh?
No, go ahead.
I'll just send an answer. I'm really torn on this one, so I don't know if this is right, but I'm gonna just send one since everybody else sent one.
Ooh, peer pressure. All right. Thank you, Rachel. My goodness. All right. Well, I must say, you guys are impressive today. I don't know who drank their social work brain juice this morning, but you guys are, I don't know. I mean, I can't take credit. This is not a me thing. I didn't teach you all to be this good. But let's see what we got here. So I'm going to pull up the key and the rationale here. All right. So can I get Katrina? Can you please read the rationale out loud for everyone?
The social worker must first gather more information about the details of the punishment, PC, alternative modes of discipline. A, might be appropriate after the social worker has a better understanding of the situation. Informing the parents that a report must be made. B, is premature at this time. Option D, ignores possibility that the behavior could be abusive.
Everybody nailed this one. Katrina, take me into your thought process. How did you arrive at your answer? What made you choose C?
Because I was thinking about what to do first. I was thinking about the stages, like the assess part, and that's the only one that would assess per se out the answers. Because when you're attempting to determine is a form of assessing the situation.
Good answer. Good answer. All right. Wanda, how did you arrive at your answer? What led you to your key?
The same thing. We needed to find out what more information about the specific type of abuse that was happening.
I would even be careful with that word. I wouldn't say specific type of abuse. I would say specific
physical punishment.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, and I've done this one before. When we talk about the girl who is tired of the painful physical punishment from her father, let's be very clear. His punishment could be, all right, so you're going to go outside and you're going to cut the grass, on a hot Saturday morning, or you're going to scrub the floors, with a hand scrubber, get on your knees and scrub the floors. That could be the painful physical punishment she's talking about. We don't know that. And if we just assume or read into it that he's physically beating her, that's an assumption that there's no evidence in the stem that states that's what's actually happening. You see what I mean? So you guys are on it today. I'm really blown away at how sharp you guys are today. This is super impressive. Garrett, talk to me, take me into your mindset. What led you to your key?
Mostly just what everyone's already said, but I'm sort of like, I'm of the mind, right, that you're always sort of assessing for safety is like pretty top priority in all these situations. And so, again, you can't really make any decision without like first doing that, because there is some potential, right, or ongoing physical potential abuse. So yeah, that was basically my rationale for it.
You know, I think I'm going to go ahead and just call ASWB, and everybody here gets a license today. Right? We're like Oprah. Amy, you get a license. You get a license. Everybody look under their seat. You have a license. We're just passing out licenses today. That'd be so cool if we could do that. All right. Wow. I'm super impressed. You guys came out sharp and came out ready.